this is Mari Moraga.
And this is John Ramos, and this is Familia Flamenca podcast. I want to thank everyone for tuning in with us today. We'll be talking, we'll be answering some questions from the Familia Flamenca community. And we'll be starting with John Velasquez from New Jersey. So the first question is, what is Toque Barbero?
Barbero means like the most basic way and like maybe rude way to play, like really basic, like really just as flamenco was born at the beginning, is like just going down. Something really rude, okay? Barbero is a person like the barber, okay? Mm. So maybe if you look on Instagram, on Google, or ChatGPT or whatever, Barbero is, if you read down, they say that it's how the barbers used to play when they wait for the customers. I don't know if it's real or not, okay? I don't know that. But Toque Barbero means like a really rude way and really traditional way, all the way going down with the thumb, tan, 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 or rasgueos, or alzapúa, but really Spanish and Andalusian way of playing. Remember that arpeggio, picado, tremolo, those are techniques that we use today as a flamenco guitarist, but we take and stole them from the classical guitar. They are not flamenco techniques that we used to play like 100 years ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember when I started listening to Toque Barbero, like mostly like Diego del Gastor, Diego de Morón. And you're right, it's more of a, like, I don't want to say this, but it's more of a prehistoric way of playing flamenco. It was like the very raw, very passionate. And I don't want to say it's simpler because it's not simple at all.
No, it's not simple.
But it's more like it's older, you know. And I was watching some videos on YouTube regarding the Barbero style. And then back then, you know, as you were talking about the barbershops, they would play, flamenco, and people would just gather at the barbershops, you know, have a few drinks and stuff, and then, you know, just listen to music, you know. But yeah, that's I used to be so obsessed with Diego del Gastor, Diego de Morón. I just loved how, you know, how all they sound, like this el sonido viejo that they have. So yeah, that's like the simple answer of Toque Barbero. So we're gonna go with.
If you see, it's like a really quick thing. Is like in those ages, there is not much technique, so they have to balance techniques and groove, techniques and feelings, techniques and expression. So maybe Toque Barbero, you have not as many techniques, details that we have today. So they have less things to use when they play. So they have to express a lot on their playing to really share their passion, their feeling, their groove when they are playing.
And Diego del Gastor was, he's kind of like the pioneer of this style, right? He's the one that kind of kept it very pure.
But you know, before than himself, because I'm so bad on history, but if you go back on the ages, you will, there is a name here. He was a guitarist from Cadiz, was so famous, like the master of all the Cadiz and Jerez style. But right now I don't remember his name. So it's cool. We can go really, really back. So Diego del Morón or Morón style is like a style that today we still know it, and we were so close to listen to them. So we're talking about a word that was maybe before, so much more before than Ramón Montoya, so much more before than Nuño Ricardo, which is what they are supposed to have right now around 110 years old, no? So it's a really old word, expression into flamenco.
Yeah, I mean, that was Toque Barbero for you guys. So we'll be going with the next question from John Velasquez. So what is Jaleo Olé?
Jaleo is something really difficult.
Right?
Yeah, because of, you know, I realized about it when I went to New York City and, you know, in general, United States and outside of Spain, and maybe not Spain. Sometimes you go to Madrid or Barcelona and also you think about it, you know. So to make a nice jaleo, I think that it is the most difficult thing in the world. It's more difficult than play, than dancing, than singing, than whatever. And for me, whenever I hear a person saying any jaleo, I know if this person knows flamenco or it's just an aficionado that don't know 100%. So there is a sentence of a friend of mine, my friend Juan Zarzuela, he's a singer, that says that flamenco is the only art in which we say great job for a mistake. So if you are in a classical music and you imagine you are in Vienna on a classical concert with the orchestra, and there is a violin player who made a mistake, everybody's going to say, "What the hell are you doing?" It's like you are doing a mistake. So in flamenco, if we're on a show and I make a mistake, my friends on the stage will say, "Great job, man." So what means great job? Ole, Mario. Ole, Mario, ole. So when I'm doing a mistake, they are saying to me, ole. It's like, oh, good job. It's not because of I'm doing okay. It's just to keep the same energy on the stage, no matter if you're doing mistakes or not.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's
and jaleo, what is the jaleo? It's to say ole on the. So there is a sentence, decir un ole a tiempo, to say an ole on the right time, on the right moment. So, for example, if you are in soleá, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, ole, 1, 2, 4. On the 12 beat, for example, it's a really nice moment to say ole when you are doing bulería, alegría, soleá. On the tangos, which is a 4 rhythm pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, ole, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, ole, 2, 3, 4, ole, 2, 3, 4, ole, 2. And also you will find different times, depends of determine things and special things. If I'm doing any rhythm thing or any detail and it's on the beat 3, 4, 6, 7.5 or whatever, there's going to be also a person who feel and see and watch this detail. Maybe this person can say also ole to myself. But most of the times they will be always around a special beat of their measure, depends of in which style you are. But also depends of the moments, you can do so many different oles on the right place. So there are so many different jaleos, like so many different. And some of them are so crazy, like, for example, long time ago, we were on a flamenco juerga party, and I have a friend of mine who's saying the name of my street as a jaleo. So the name of my street is Calle Silera Boteros, number 15, okay? So, Silera Botero, Silera Botero, Silera Botero, 8, 9, 10, Silera Botero, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Silera Botero. So, there are so many really crazy jaleos, like sometimes really short words and sometimes like a full sentence in just one beat of the rhythm. So, it's not.
There you go, guys. Huh?
It's not easy. It's a really difficult thing. So, first of all, feel that, and then have enough rhythm skills to be able to fit a full sentence or a word on the exactly moment to make the energy of the stage and the flamenco party increase and keep following.
So basically, like it's just hyping up the the guitar, the singer, and there you guys have it. Even in flamenco, everything has a purpose. Even to hype up the musician, you gotta do it right on beat. You gotta do it like, as you say, on the first beat or the fourth beat, or it's an art. And that's why I love flamenco. That's why, because everything has a purpose. Every single thing, even the clapping, it's an instrument of its own.
For sure, there is a job. So it's like, I can do clapping at my home, at my house, on a party. I can record a CD as a clapper, as a palmero. For sure, no.
Yeah, I know, and I remember talking to some people, like, talking about flamenco, and I would tell them, like, yeah, like palmas, and they're like, clapping is like, it's not the clapping that you think of it. It's like, it's actually really difficult, but we'll touch that topic some other time.
Yes, it is.
All right, so now we got the next question from John Velasquez from New Jersey. We got, what is Cante Hondo?
Okay, if you can read in internet, Hondo with H, Hondo, or with J, Hondo. Hondo means deep. Okay? So when we say that someone is doing Cante Hondo, when we say Hondo, we talk about always singing. Okay? So Cante Hondo. There is not guitar Hondo, guitarra Honda. No. Could be a name of a show, but it's not traditional. Okay? So when we talk about the word Hondo, it means deep. And which is a Cante Hondo? Cante Hondo is to sing the most traditional, deep and hard styles like soleá, like seguirilla, like malagueña, taranta, granaína, tientos, tangos, bulerías, alegrías, like the really deep cante singing styles. Okay. So, yeah, so for example, you can see Concurso de Cante Hondo contest. So it's a place in which so many singers will be doing the best of themselves to win the contest. Okay. So Cante Hondo is what flamenco is. The roots of the flamenco is Cante Hondo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a very passionate way of singing. I've been listening to Hondo, a lot of Hondo lately, because I'm trying to understand more the guitar. And that's true, though. If it wasn't for Cante Hondo, there wouldn't be, guitar. It's very, very passionate, and I really, really enjoy it. Cool. So that was the answer for Cante Hondo. So now we have a few questions from Lumen from China. So now we got a quick question. What is Soniquete?
Nice. The Sonic, if there is not a word to translate Soniquete, no? But if we want to find one, Soniquete is rhythm. But if we want to go one more step, Soniquete is to have a nice sense of rhythm, good to have nice groove and swing. So I know a lot of musicians that plays on rhythm, but so I don't want to say that because it's also happened to myself. I'm not the best rhythm guitarist. I live in Jerez, but I'm not from Jerez. I'm not gypsy, so I didn't know the rhythm when I was a kid. I know the rhythm on the last 6 years. Okay, so yeah, but for me to have Soniquete or not is how much you express through your music. So if you use the rhythm also as a skill that you work on to help how you express your music and your feelings. It's not just with the music or the melody or the harmony sequence that you choose for the moment. It's also a rhythm, one of the most important tools to share it with the audience. So, and it's Soniquete, maybe it's a word really from here, from Jerez. Maybe we can talk about Moraito Chico. We can talk about Diego del Morao. We can talk around all the different gypsy and flamenco families in Jerez de la Frontera. They create, I think, this word. Soniquete. It's not just to have rhythm. It's also to like play with swing, no? It's this way. It's like for me to have Soniquete is also a way to go and buy a coffee to Starbucks. I always do the same sample. It's not the same thing to go normal. And if you have Soniquete, it's like also your life changed a lot. So I remember myself when I was younger to go here on the street on my daily time, walking and going out. And I remember to saw Moraito Chico, one of my best guitarists in my opinion, just to see himself walking. It's an art. How can you say obra de arte? How can I say in Spanish, in English?
It's a work of art. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, just to see Moraito Chico walking, it's like, oh my God! It's just the way that he used to walk around. You feel that he has a lot of different rhythm, genius skills.
You feel the energy, huh?
For sure.
Huh. Yeah, I've always thought about Soniquete, like trying to difference between Soniquete and like the word duende.
Yeah, they are different. Maybe duende, it's more around the magic, la magia, no? So maybe a person who has no rhythm, but maybe sings so nice Granaina, which is a non-rhythm style, we can have the duende there, okay?
Yeah, no, we'll be talking more about duende in another podcast. Because I think duende is it's another whole topic. It's very
for sure.
It's complex as well.
For sure.
But okay. So we're going with the next question from Lumen from China. So now we got what is Llamada, Remate, y Salida.
Okay, let's go. Llamada. Let's go where we were. Okay, Llamada. Llamar, the word llamar in Spanish means to call someone. Okay? So usually the llamada is going to be something that the dancer is going to be doing. And as we can translate it, to call. So if the dancer is doing a llamada, it means that I'm calling someone as a dancer. So the dancer, when he or she is doing the llamada, it's because of he or she is calling the singer to do something, to start singing, to change the paragraph, to change the letra, to change the rhythm, whatever. But if the dancer is doing a llamada, it means that, hey, I want something new. I want something from you. Okay? So, for example, the llamada on the bulería, llamada on the... Depends of the style. Also, maybe we can find different meanings. But llamada is to call someone. So if you translate it to English, it makes sense 100%. Because when you call someone, you want something from this person. But the same thing from the dancer. When the dancer is doing the llamada, he or she wants something from the singer, also from the guitarist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So la llamada, maybe it's a moment to start something new and to change from one point to the other. Okay.
So usually the llamada like starts with the dancer. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the dancers determine the llamada, not the guitarist and not the singer.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay,
Now we got that clear.
Let me think about it, if it's correctly. Yeah, these singers, they are not doing llamadas.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to do the salidas.
Okay. All right, we're going to get to salidas in a little bit. Now we got remate.
Remate is to close.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so rematar is a verb. Rematar is to close something. So, for example, when I teach Solea for guitarists, okay, we have also the remate de Solea, which is always on the beat 10th, 11th, 12th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When I'm teaching, I always obligate my students to use always the same close, the same remate, when they are learning. Why? Because you get the swing, the groove, and the way that it sounds when you close. It's really important to close correctly. You can play a great falsetto and a great section, but if at the end of the falsetto you don't do the close correctly, it's like, what? Yeah, what happens? Like everything was working great, but at the end you don't focus on how important it is to close something correctly. Okay, so remate. Singers do remates, dancers do remates, and guitarists do remates. Rematar is to close something, to end a section. So, and it's really important. So it's a really typical question. Hey, ¿rematas tú o remato yo? Hey, do you close or I close? No, you close today, Mario. You have to find some music to help myself, imagine as a dancer, to close. So you have to compose a music to close with the dancer.
Okay. So there you go. Like remate is a very important part of flamenco. You know, it's if you don't do a good remate, you lose the vibe. So yeah.
Yeah, there is it also happens for a book, no, or for a song. You maybe remember how it started and how it ends, but sometimes you don't remember what's happening in the middle, no. So it's more or less the same thing, no. It's like you can play great, but if at the end you don't decide and you don't choose or play and correctly close, it's like, oh, this is the end, or it's not the end, or what happened?
I like that analogy. You know, whenever it's funny because I was reading this book. I don't want to say names, but then like I invested like 2 weeks reading this book, and at the end, the ending wasn't exactly what I was expecting, and I was like, you know. So I think it will be the same with like a flamenco song. You know, if you don't have a good remate, you're like, you kind of feel like,
And the movies, no, or the movies is always the same. It's like. Or when you are watching a series on Netflix with 10 episodes, and you arrive to the last one and you say, really? I spent here 10 episodes to have this close of these episodes? Wow. So the close is really important. Really, really important.
So now you know, guys, you got to do a good remate.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. So I think, that's all we have today for the questions. We'll be doing a podcast on Fridays, right?
We have, I think, one is Salida. I think that we missed.
Oh, yeah, sorry, guys. Salida, I totally forgot about that. So now we got Salida.
This is crazy because Salida is to exit, but it means to get into for us. So Salida is like, Salida is to exit, okay? But salir a, okay, we say salir a la calle, no? Get out to the street, get out. But salir is also to go a la calle. So I can say salgo a la calle, or voy a la calle. It means to go out of your house and get into the go out. Okay. So salida, it means the moment in which someone is getting into the stage or into the song or into the performance. So when you are watching a show with dancers, singers, and guitarists, so the first one is going to be salida de la guitarra, because always guitar is the first one getting to the show, usually for a normal performance with dancers. So the first person starting playing is a guitarist. Then you will find the salida del singer and salida of the dancer. So salida means to get into the performance. So I ask always as a guitarist to the singer, hey, which salida are you going to sing? And to the dancer, hey, which salida are you going to dance? To know what they are going to be doing, to get ready, to give the best introduction for themselves.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's easy to, get confused with the remate and salida, because I feel like as a non-flamenco person, it could sound about the same, because remate is to finish and salida is to exit.
Yeah.
But they're different. Like I said, remate is to end something, and salida is like when someone is about to perform. So you just gotta be careful with the terms. But yeah.
Maybe it's funny, like rematar, remate. Matar is to kill.
Mm-hmm.
No, so rematar is to re-kill someone. So rematar, kill is to close. Maybe you can use this game of words, no? Rematar is to kill. And salida, which means exit, don't make sense. So salida is to get into. If you want to make I always like to play with the words to remember and memorize things. I think it's a nice way to memorize and work on it.
Mm-hmm. And I remember when I started doing flamenco, as I said, I would get confused with salida, because I thought salida was the end of it, to exit. But now I know it's it's not necessarily an exit, it's more like a beginning of something, performance. So yeah, it's flamenco is it's a little, it could get a little complicated, but once you understand the language, you'll be able to recognize it bam, this is what it is. Remate, llamada, salida, bam,
Yeah.
So cool guys.
Nice. Yeah, it's 22 minutes. It's nice, man. I think that this way of answering is great. So for all of you who are watching this video, you will have on the comment below this video the Google form in which you can leave your topics, in which you can leave what do you want to hear about on those meetings between Joan and myself, because it helps ourselves. For us, it's always to talk and express what we think about different words, topics, and sentences.
Yeah, and it could be any topic related to flamenco. But yeah, as I said, as Mario said, we'll be having the link in the description. And feel free also to leave any comments or if anything, that you want us to improve. As we're saying, we're starting this podcast and we're putting a lot of energy into it. But yeah, so that was the second episode of Familia Flamenco. How do you feel about it, Mario?
That's great. That's really always looking forward. People are still watching the first one, so good news. So the videos is still getting new views every day. It's not getting stopped on any time. So that's great. And we are supposed to get it bigger with the time, and hope that you enjoy and that you leave so many things on the comments below to help us decide what to talk about next days.
Yeah, and then also we'll be having some people interviewed in the future. It's not just gonna be us talking. But yeah, so we want to amplify this platform, and touch more topics, the Familia Flamenco, and also, talk about things that non-flamenco listeners, don't know about it. So yeah, this could be a good way of, knowing about flamenco, either for beginners, advanced, intermediate. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for tuning in with us today. And yeah, we hope you have a great day.
That's great, guys. Enjoy the day and see you next week. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye, Johan.